Like many artists, I sometimes kind of shut myself into my own studio, seclude myself from the outside world, but I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to get out in the real world and kind of mix and mingle with people, so I think that's what we're going to do today. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome, mad creators, to the underground laboratory where we create robots, alien zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. And like I said, we are here in the underground lair, and you know, we don't get out of the underground lair much. At least I don't. I don't know about you guys in your studio, if you're just working away and everything, or you know, you probably go online and you talk to people online and everything, but it's sort of a poor, that's great, okay? But it's sort of a poor substitute to actually getting out and meeting people in person and talking to them. And I've been really thinking about that and wanting to get out of my comfort zone and actually go meet with other creatives and things like that. So that's something I'm working on, and something we're gonna do today, something we haven't done in a little while, is kind of get out of the underground lair. Before that, I wanted to mention something, just sort of a congratulations to a friend of mine, Jeff Lafferty, who, if you follow the show I do, the Artcasters, if you're a longtime fan, you'll know that he kind of started that Artcasters. It was originally it was Jeff, Kevin Cross, and myself. And it's changed a lot over the year. I can actually say years because we've been doing it actually for years. but Jeff took on the 100 Days of Maine Comics Challenge. If you're not familiar with that, that was started by Kevin Cross, and it's where you spend 30 minutes at least a day, every day, working on your own comic book project, and then you vlog about it. You do a YouTube video, or nowadays you can do like Instagram TV or anyway, but just or blog or whatever. And just let people know kind of what your progress is, and that's the whole nature of the challenge. You do that for 100 days straight, and Jeff did that, and he actually completed his comic book, The Berserkernaut, and so I thought, you know, it would be cool to do some fan art, and when we go out, I'll kind of show you the process we've been working on this and everything, but I wanted to show you the piece here. So I thought it would be fun to sort of take his character and what if, you know, we don't know, at least I don't think, I haven't read the whole issue, just what's online, but we don't know who his alter ego is, and you know, so maybe some people are saying that they haven't seen me and the Berserkernaut in the same place, so could it be? I don't know, it's up to you, but so I thought it'd be fun just and his Berserkernaut has a part of my name, Serkworks, Circlin, all up in there, so I thought it'd be fun to sort of do a play on that. So that's the fan art, and I'll kind of show you me working on this because I thought that would be a good project to take out into this drink and draw thing that I went to, and yeah, so I was approached by a friend, and I guess he's on the board of this place is the American Advertising. Is it Federation? Foundation? I don't know what the acronym stands for. But anyway, so yeah, they're putting on this event, and it's a pretty cool event. They give out these cool sketchbooks and everything, and you know, it's like $15 to enter, and you get a drink ticket and everything, and you go and draw, and you hang out with other creators and stuff. So that's pretty cool, and hopefully, you know, I don't know where you guys live out in the world, but if you're at a place that offers that type of thing, I would kind of look into some of that. If you guys have programs like that, whether it's light drawing classes or like drink and draws or meetups or whatever, and there's meetup.com where you can even start something like that if you need to. Fortunately, there is a lot of that stuff going on if you do some searching. So I've been starting to do that, conferences, sign up for some conferences and the drink and draws and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's fun. And what's more fun than actually meeting with people and drawing at the same time? I don't know. But anyway, so I'm gonna kind of show you how this piece came together. It's a pretty quick piece. I did it in, you know, just while it was there. So but anyway, it was fun. So I'm going to show you that process, and in order to do that, because we are kind of stuck here in the underground lair, we have to get out. So we have to go up here, and it's a little off screen here, but we're going to the paralleloscope, which is the device that we use here in the lair where we can kind of get out vicariously and tap into alternate realities, parallel universes. So let's go there. Let's go to the paralleloscope. Hey, so here I am at Helton Brewing Company. I haven't been here before, but I am here today for a thing called Add Thirsties, which is done, I guess it's Thirsties like Thursday sort of, but Thirsties because you're drinking. I think that's the idea behind it. But anyway, it's a drink and draw, and I guess this is the first one. I guess they used to do it, and then they stopped doing it, and now they're kind of bringing it back. So I think this is something that's just going to kind of grow, but it's kind of a cool place. I came in, they gave me this little booklet, and yeah, I just kind of went there to sketch. I'm going to work on this fan art piece that I'm doing based on my friend Jeff Lafferty's Berserkernaut character, sort of kind of doing a mashup with my own sort of branding. And right off the bat, I do want to sort of apologize for some of the quality of the video, because despite it being a drink and draw, there wasn't a lot of light there on the patio. So as we go on, it'll get a little dimmer, but I think you can kind of still see what's going on. But I'm just going to throw up some of my drawings while I talk a little bit about just kind of getting out and hopefully meeting people and everything, and sort of people that share common interests, people that are doing the same type of thing you are. And if you live in a big city or a place where you have a nice size artist community, that's really something you should take advantage of. And if you don't, I still think you can find people who are interested in the same thing. Now, the internet is great, and we can talk to people throughout, through Hangouts and all that kind of stuff, and I love doing that. But you can also use it to connect to people locally through things like Meetup and things like that. So it wouldn't be hard to start something like that up. And so this thing I'm going right now is sort of Central Phoenix. I live sort of on the outskirts of Phoenix, and so it's a little bit of a drive for me, but it's worth it. But I came to find out that there, in the city where I live, there are actually a number of cartoonists who, comic book artists and cartoonists that live there. A friend of mine, Vincent DePorter, who we've had on the show a couple of times. Actually, I just saw him the other day, and he did he's the artist for SpongeBob comics, and he does like Scooby-Doo comics and all kinds of stuff, but amazing artist, and he does all kinds of stuff if you've seen him on the Artcast, because we've had him on. But anyway, so I'm trying to get something to go with him, and another artist, there's another artist who does some stuff for Alterna. I don't really know him as well, but I'm going to see if I can get him on the show and everything. And because they do live sort of in the same city, and then the comic book store owner was telling me about some other people. So, and that's another thing. Comic book store, usually they know some of the artists around. So if you do have a comic book store in your area, maybe ask them and see. And sometimes they'll even maybe want to like host some drawing events. I know a lot of some of the other comic book stores here locally in Arizona. Sometimes they host like draw nights and things like that. So yeah, I want to start doing more of that. The other thing that I'm trying to do is, and I don't know, I know a lot of people that follow me are more, comic book artists and illustrators and things like that. But I sort of also have a background in graphic design, and it's kind of funny because I always just thought the two of those were kind of hand in hand. But I'm finding more just talking to people who who are more comic book illustrators. You mentioned some of the people, like some of the big names doing graphic design, and they're not really familiar with them. So I guess there is a little bit of a a divide there. But anyway, so I kind of try to center around both worlds. Like I noticed like the poster artists and things like that, those are the guys that sort of straddle that line between illustration and design. So a lot of those people will know, all the big comic artists, and also know some of the graphic design guys. But if you do know anything about graphic design, you probably know who Aaron Draplin is. He's like he's like a graphic design rock star. But if you don't, research him and look at some of his talks, because he's just kind of amazing. But anyway, so he's going to be at another event that I signed up for. It's a conference in October called, I think it's Phoenix Ad Week. So the whole week, there's 1 week where they just have all kinds of events and everything centered around advertising and design and all that kind of stuff. So actually he's going to be there, and I guess he does a lot of these. So there's a chance he might be in your area, because I think the weekend before the thing that I'm doing, Joshua Kimball, who I host the Artcasters with, is also going to a conference in probably LA somewhere where Draplin's going to be. But anyway, so I signed up for that to hear him talk, and then later I found out he was doing sort of a workshop, so I signed up for that too. But so that will be cool. But the main reason I want to go to this is because I listen to a lot of design podcasts, and everyone's always telling me, oh, you need to go to these design conferences. That's where you kind of go to meet and just kind of talk with other people with similar interests and everything, and just because that's really good as far as networking. And I know sometimes networking can kind of have this stigma attached to it as far as, oh, you're just trying to, and it's not necessarily just trying to get work, but the more you get out there and the more people you know, the more, sometimes people, sometimes it can lead to work and things like that. And you don't want to go there with, just here's my card and all this kind of stuff. It's just sort of a gradual thing, but the more you get out and you talk to people, the more you're in there, in the back of their mind, like, oh yeah, this guy does this. And if you're not doing that, then people don't know, and maybe they know you online, but they don't always put two and two together when people are looking for other people. And I'm trying to do that for other people as well. I mentioned Vincent DePorter a while ago, and I guess SpongeBob Comics wrapped up, and he's doing some other stuff as well. But we've had people on the Artcasters who who are editors and everything, who are looking to do more European style comics, which that's kind of his background. And so if possible, maybe I can facilitate that, and maybe get those people together. And who knows, maybe nothing will come of it or anything. You never know. But it's kind of good to be in a position where you can help each other out, because we're all, in a lot of ways, we're all in this thing together. So yeah, I would encourage everyone to sort of get out, see what's in your area, whether it's conferences or drawing events, whether it's life drawing classes or whatever, because these are our people. We can get out there, and as an introvert, it's hard for me to kind of get out. But the one thing I got to realize is that the good thing is, you go to these events, everyone sort of has, like I've mentioned, has similar interests. So it's not really that hard to spark up a conversation with somebody when you have a lot in common. And of course, sometimes you want to talk to people that have differences of opinions and things like that too, because that's kind of how you learn and you grow and everything. But it's always easier, at least for me, if there's some common ground there where you can kind of oh yeah, I do that too, or you kind of know what they're talking about. Because sometimes you'll get in a conversation with somebody who does something that's really, you don't know anything about. Now, if that person is enthusiastic about it, it doesn't matter what you do. If somebody's enthusiastic about it, you get into that conversation and you're like, oh, that's really interesting. I never really knew what that was. But so try to do that with your own work too. And it's weird, because sometimes I just kind of figure when you go in and people ask, what do you do for a living and everything, and you I don't really know what to say. You could say you're an artist, but that's so vague. You could say you're an illustrator, but not everyone knows what that is. And sometimes, oh, do you do children's books? And well, not really. And so a lot of people don't know about it, and sometimes you just kind of you try to avoid those conversations, because it could just go off on crazy tangents and everything, I guess I'm doing right now. But I think the main thing is, when you are talking to other people about what you do, try to be positive about it, and try to because again, that's what's going to keep you in people's minds. And when you're out there, if you get out and you do these kind of things, get out to these events and everything, I would give it a shot, And the other thing, that I signed up with this conference not really knowing if anyone I knew was even going to be there, which was kind of weird for me. But the thing is, when I go to these things like this drink and draw, I find out a lot of other people are going to this too, and some people. And a couple people that I know, the person that invited me to this, he's going to that too. So at the very least, I could, if I'm just standing there doing nothing, I can talk to him or whatever. So, sometimes it's good if you can get a small group, or at least one other person to go with you, so you don't feel that out of sorts when you kind of get to these places. But all in all, I think it's a really good idea to start getting out. And that's what I'm going to try to do, because I'm finding that there's people online that may have heard of me and everything, but locally, I should be a little more present, I think, locally. And I think people should, I should come to their mind when they're thinking about illustrations, because the one thing I noticed when I went there is that I was probably the only one that was actually illustrating. There were some other people that were doodling and everything like that, but most people were just talking. And if I go to another one of these, that's probably something I want to do more of, because I sort of, for the most part, I had this drawing that I wanted to get done, just to kind of celebrate Jeff's completion of 100 days. So I was kind of hyper focused on that. So even though I was sort of talking to people while I was drawing, I think it's probably better the next time I go is not to have something that I'm just trying to, oh, I got to get this thing done, so I'm going to work on it, you know, go full bore on it and work on it and everything. Just next time I go, I'm just going to bring a sketchbook and sort of, you know, just doodle and sketch and maybe walk around a little more and actually get to know people, because that's super important. That's something that I didn't really get a chance to do this time. But, you know, it's the first time, so I'm still kind of, you know, dipping my toes into this whole world of like drink and draws and getting out there and everything. At least, I mean, I've done a few of these before, but anyway, so right now I'm just kind of wrapping up this drawing, and it's just a quick drawing, you know, I mean, for whatever it's worth. It was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. So, but one thing I really want to start doing is a lot more like detailed sketches instead of these quick sketches. But yeah, that's a different topic for a different day. Yeah, and I keep wanting to reiterate that, yeah, I want you guys to get out there locally, you know, get out and talk to some other people that are doing what you're doing, and form friendships, form communities, and I think that's really going to be beneficial, because it's just amazing what meeting face to face with people really can do as far as you know, keeping yourself in the minds of other people and keeping other people in your minds. So when something comes up and like, oh, that person would be perfect for that, I know exactly who you might need for that. And that may work in reverse, whether it's comic books, ads, graphic design, illustrations, whatever. We all need that. So. All right, so that was a lot of fun. Glad I got a chance to do that, and I think this is going to be a monthly thing, so hopefully I'll get to do more of those. Although it was on a Thursday, and usually I do Artcasters on Thursday, so we might have to move that around a little bit. We'll see what happens, but yeah, and once again, I would encourage you to get out and take part in some of these events if they're available, and if they aren't, maybe you could, like I said, maybe you can start them up yourself. So I just want to know before I leave, do you guys do this kind of stuff, these kind of community creative events? And if so, what are you guys doing? You know, I'm curious to see what kind of events you guys attend and everything. So let me know in the comment section, and I will see you guys later. That is all. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here in the Art Lab. There's a lot of other great content on the channel, so click that subscribe button and you won't miss a thing. If you're an aspiring evil genius, visit Serkworks.com for all your mad science supply needs. And if you want to contact me, hit me up in the comment section or follow me on social media. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then.